Can I give a hot take?
Was it really? You heard it from him.
Hopefully everything just goes smoothly. We have no technical issues, touch wood. Not here yet, so I'm hoping she's actually coming. Post podcast thoughts. If you're new here, this is the road to 1,000 users where me and James are trying to get our new platform, Rupert, a 24/7 social media assistant to help you manage your comment section, to 1,000 users by the end of 2025. This series is going to document the highs, lows and realities of building a tech startup after James sold his previous 2 companies to focus solely on Rupert. Now, back in the intro to this series, you might have seen James and I discussing our idea for a new podcast called In the Comments, where we would bring on brand owners and social media managers to discuss how they could extract more value from their social channels. The idea behind this podcast was to not only provide value to our guests and the listeners, but also get Rupert's name out there and hopefully generate some more users. Well, after putting the call out and receiving quite a few applications, we selected the first 3 guests and booked them in to come to our office in Leamington. So, on the day, we got everything set up, looking how we wanted it, and you join us just before we record our first episode. So it is Wednesday the 8th of January, and today's the day we're recording our first In the Comments podcast. Today we're talking to Gordon. Shout out to Gordon. He's driven, I believe, all the way down from Glasgow today for this podcast specifically, so great dedication from Gordon. We're just going through a bit of the setup, making sure all the angles look right, because we've never done this podcast before, so kind of going to be a sort of record what we think looks right and then see afterwards. We've got a TV screen set up where we can show lots of information and things like that, so we're just waiting for Gordon, who should be in Leamington soon, and then it's time for the big recording.
I'm looking forward to this. I think he's a really good guy. What I'm really interested to get into him with is the numbers. Like a breathing coach and a running coach are 2 very different things.
Like how much does he charge?
How much is he charging? And how many does he need, like in a year's time, over a 12-month period? How many conversions does he need?
And does he know that?
And
got any numbers?
we f***ing hope so.
Because some people don't.
No, I know, Michael, but they should.
It's showtime.
Gordon has just left. The podcast is complete. I haven't spoken to James, so I don't know what James thinks. What James post podcast thoughts?
He was good.
Can I give a hot take? That was the best podcast we've ever done. Like episode.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
You heard it from him. Was it really?
Yeah. I think like it was good conversation, but it was like valuable, but it was flowed.
I think some of the ideas we gave him he hadn't thought about. I think he'd gone away from here going, I'm not as scared about social. It's not as scary as I thought, and actually using things like Opus and things like chat, I can do this.
It's like simple changes, really, isn't it?
Simple. And things like a microphone and stuff.
That will turn out really well.
I think it will. So yeah, okay, well that's your feedback.
We got to check the footage now, though.
Feedback from the mic.
Yeah.
You impressed, were you?
Yeah, I thought it was good.
Well, you thought it was the best.
Well, yeah. Is Pickles Poddington for the podcast?
No, I'm not spoken to him, mate.
We've got a new podcast now, we don't need him.
No, we don't.
Old news.
And I've now got a meeting with Wendy about finance stuff.
We saw the finances already, so
It's red.
One in the bag.
You seem really positive about that.
Yeah, I think I'm normally more apprehensive, but I'm
Miserable.
bit nervy here. I was checking that all the files came off the camera all okay, otherwise the whole podcast would be pointless. But as you can see here, success. So we transferred all the files over, ready for the edit. But before that, 2 days later, we were back in Leamington for another 2 episodes this time, hopefully taking all the things we've learnt from the first episode, bringing them into the next 2. Looking forward to another 2 great conversations. Day 2, we're back. Now Friday. James is here going over his notes. You know, like football commentators where they go over like the squad numbers and like the stats they want to hit. So we've got 2 today, one at 11, one at 1. Ben Goodwin is first up in the hot seat. Do you have thoughts ahead of today's podcast?
Yeah, Ben's an interesting one because their TikTok is horrendous. Pretty fair. I think Ben's getting confused in terms of who he's trying to message and who he's trying to talk to on his socials. So that's going to be interesting. And then you've got Christina later, which again, because we're pundits, we haven't yet had a look at that data. So we're going to sort Ben out first and then we'll do Christina. But no, I'm looking forward to today. If it's anything like Gordon, Michael, it'll be very good.
Is there anything you've learned from the first podcast that you're going to take into the second one?
Absolutely not, no. Absolutely not, Michael. No.
Fly by the seat of our pants.
Actually, I have learned something from that. You need to get your laptop up now and do a dual screen, not a mirror, because you can have their socials on there.
While I can type stuff.
Correct.
I'll have to work out how to do that.
It takes 2 seconds. Get your laptop up now, let's get it going.
Round 2.
One down, one to go. Good chat there with Ben. We had some funny moments looking at his some of his TikTok pages, but yeah, still some good value there. Next one is in about 45 minutes, so we just got to go through some notes for that. Yeah, hopefully Christina will arrive and another good podcast will be under our belt. So yeah, we'll have 3 in the bank there, and then we just need to edit them really, which will be nice because we've got a bit of time. So yeah, me and James are going to go through those bits now and see what we think. Delirium's set in. So far we've had 2 coffees. We've had a black coffee from Gordon. That feels very Scottish, that he's just like no milk, no sugar, just straight. And then what do we have today? Mocha.
You don't see many of those around.
So then we got Christina. I'm thinking like a latte.
I'm going to go an oat flat white.
Oh, see, that's what I'm thinking. It's either going to be like something standard or it's going to be like, a bit out there, like a fruit tea or something, you know what I mean? Have to wait and see. New game for the podcast. She's not here yet, so I'm hoping she's actually coming. We hope. We're done. Woohoo! James is happy. Look at him. Good. 2 good podcasts. We've got a little nest egg now. We've got 3. What have we learned from our 3 podcasts?
I've learned that they're very LinkedIn centric, which is annoying, but not annoying. But it is what it is. What have we learned? I've learned that.
You've learned about the ending question is quite good.
Yeah, I got a little ending question now, which is going to be our piste de resistance. We need more marketing managers. Ben was a really good example because you could really candidly look at his stuff, whereas obviously with Christina just there, and she's a personal brand, her stuff is really great, but she needed more help with like niching down and more businessy stuff really. So yeah, it's good.
So more to come.
Hopefully.
We'll see you in the comments. That's the ending. That's cool. I like that. This is not a flattering angle.
What?
You ever done those things where you do the filter without the beard? Like the beardless filter. I did that and I had like 10 chins. Also, for those of you wondering what drink Christina had, she just had a water. Just a water. Unbelievable. But anyway, the podcast was underway and I think the first 3 episodes went better than we had expected, so I just had to edit them now. You can find them over on the Rupert YouTube channel or anywhere you listen to podcasts by searching in the comments. Next week we'll talk more about meta problems and what we're doing to combat those, and also some new approaches and tactics we're using to hopefully get us closer to 1,000 users. Thanks for watching.